want it. I want it. I want it. I need it. All right, so I have a problem. I'll be the first one to admit it, but the problem I have is I want all the gear. I feel like right now is the perfect time for camera companies to be releasing everything. How do people mount this mic? Do they do it on the hat? That just looks stupid. I can't take myself seriously there. I'm just gonna do this. See, I have this problem where I feel like camera companies are just releasing new cameras every single freaking day. And I want them all because they're all insane, right? I've been wanting a Leica Q3 since it came out. I don't even need a Leica Q3. So I'm shooting on a EOS R5, Canon R5, which is a great camera. I want the R5 Mark II. Do I need it? No, not really. Do I want it? Yeah. They just released, Canon just released, okay, I got the C70, I have the C70, then they released the C80 and I'm like, I want that. Then they released the C400, I want that too. Now they released the C50 and I want it. Why? I just want it all. And here's the most stupid part, is that I have everything I need to create the videos that I need to make. If I want the cool setup with like the cool backdrop and everything like that, I have it all. In fact, I'll even set it up right now to prove it. Also, hold on. This is Mr. Leo. Say hi, Mr. Leo. Oh, okay. He is the newest member of our family. Oh, you can hear him purring. Don't get the mic. Oh. And he is a little terror, I will say. Meowing constantly, aren't you? Aren't you? Oh, you just want all the cuddles. Can't even see him on camera. But I'm gonna have him in here because he's just meowing nonstop. But he's so cute, but he's a little terror. Okay. Go. Behave. Hi. Crazy cat. Crazy. Can I have the SD card, buddy? I know what's going on. What's going on? Oh, thanks, baby. Right in the ring. Right, so I have pretty much everything I need. Now, I could definitely polish up this shot a lot more considering the fact that it's a little skewed, the light's not the best, and I could hook up the boom mic because that would probably sound a lot better, but you get the point. Also, I have a little kitten running around all over the place and I'm terrified. Also, I'm allergic to cats and now I have 2. Thank my wife, but he's so cute. This is what I'm saying, right? I have everything I need to make a pretty awesome shot. And I've gotten a lot of great shots with what I have already. So why do I want new gear? Why? Why do I want new gear? Well, to be completely honest, the answer is really simple. It's that I'm consuming so much content. Let me break it down. See, the more content that I'm constantly watching, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff, the more I'm seeing creators who are amazing at their craft, don't get me wrong, publishing more content about new gear. And here's the little trap that I find myself in. I feel like if I don't have that gear, I can't make the things that I want to make, which are similar to these creators. Does that make sense? So here's the kerfuffle, right? If every creator is constantly releasing a bunch of new gear updates and stuff like that, how am I supposed to keep up with that when I'm just little old me doing my own thing, you know? I mean, would it be awesome to have, you know, sponsored deals, stuff like that, and be able to afford all this gear? Yeah, 100%. But would that actually affect the content that I'm putting out there? I mean, not really. Let me explain why. See, what I'm essentially talking about is resistance, right? If I'm wanting to create, say, a YouTube video, but you know, I see another YouTube video that's shot on a really fancy cinema camera with anamorphic lenses and all the new stuff, I'm essentially telling myself, I can't make that video because I don't have that gear. And that's causing resistance, and it's causing me to resist making that video. Does that make sense? So the question is, how do I combat resistance? And I'll tell you. The answer is momentum. You see, like a skateboard, if I'm skateboarding and I want to keep up that nice carve, I need to keep pushing. I need to keep that momentum going so I can keep going. But if I hit a rock or I stop, it's going to be a lot harder for me to start pushing again to create that momentum to go faster, right? See what I did there? Skateboard analogy? I think it worked. You see, resistance is essentially procrastination, right? And the best way to beat procrastination is by getting out and doing things, right? So getting that momentum to start making content and actually using the stuff that you have is the key to getting what you want to do in the future. Does that make sense? Why does momentum matter? Well, momentum sparks inspiration, right? For example, if I decide to carry my backpack with my camera gear every single day, I'm gonna have my camera with me no matter what. And there are gonna be days where, yeah, I don't necessarily use it. But there are also gonna be days where I might be driving home and I see this awesome sunset. And I'm like, oh shoot, I should pull over to the side of the road because I have my camera and I should take that photo. Because if I didn't have my camera, I'd probably make up an excuse being like, oh, my phone wouldn't be able to do that thing. So then I wouldn't get the photo, right? And so building that habit basically means you're building momentum and you're gonna be able to create more things. Does that make sense? Now, momentum also sparks creativity, right? So if you have the inspiration, right, the next thing you need is to channel that inspiration into something, right? And if you are constantly building the habit of momentum or the habit of bringing a camera with you wherever you go, by the way, this can be applied to anything, whether it's art or work or working out or whatever it is, you're automatically gonna start being more creative because you have the tool that you always use to make content. And then lastly, momentum, like I said, creates habits. Now, there's this book called, oh, I don't know if you can see that, Atomic Habits. It's funny because I actually have the hard copy book and I was gonna bring it with me, but then I forgot it. So I was like, I'm not gonna go all the way back to get it just for this, because then I'm not gonna want to finish the video because then I have to go all the way back and then whatever, right? Anyways, the book Atomic Habits by James Clear is a fantastic book. If you haven't read it, definitely give it a read or a listen. I like to listen to it while I'm mowing the lawn and stuff like that. It's awesome. But there is this really cool little story. I think it's with photographers, but basically he's saying there's a classroom full of artists or photographers, something like that. And the professor basically asked them, hey, I want you to split into two groups. One group is challenged to take the best photo they can possibly take, and it can only be one photo. The other group, I just want you to take a bunch of photos. And at the end of the assignment, the professor's like, all right, who came out with the best photo? Well, guess which group? It was group B, the one that were constantly taking photos because they were constantly failing, trying again, failing, and they were repeating. Learn, make, repeat. It's that constant cycle of how you learn anything. The first group was too busy theorizing and contemplating and basically being indecisive about what they should shoot, so they didn't actually go out and shoot the best thing that they could. That's the whole point. It's the habits. And so it takes about 60 days to form a habit, right? So that's what, 2 months? Imagine carrying your camera around for 2 straight months. Anywhere you go, you have your camera with you, right? Imagine the photos you could get. You could fill a whole book with photos you can get in 2 months. You can literally have a idea that you've always been wanting to do. Say you want to photograph, I don't know, big trucks. I only say that because there's a big truck driving by. Imagine all the big trucks that you pass by and you photograph every single one. You can fill up a whole freaking photo book just with big trucks. Does that make sense? So create that habit. It'll do wonders. Ugh. Okay, so now that you have your habits in check and all that stuff, what are some tips that you can use to basically keep going? Well, or at least not get bored with what you want to do. Well, a couple things you can do. One, bring a camera with you everywhere you go. Now, depending on what you're doing or how bored you get, bring a different camera with you. If you have multiple ones, bring a different one every week. You know, bring an R5 one day, bring a film camera the next week, and use your iPhone the week after, right? Challenge yourself. Another thing you can do is bring one lens, you know? Right now I'm shooting with 16-35. And honestly, I used to shoot a lot of stuff with the 16-35, but I don't really use that anymore unless it's for video. So maybe the challenge that I should have is to use the 16-35 and shoot wide instead of, you know, using what I usually use, which is a 50 or something with a little bit more compression. Those are some challenges or tips that you can do to spark more creativity. Another thing is using filters, you know? Get a mist filter, get a pro mist filter, get, you know, a random, I don't know, one of those anamorphic type filters where they give you like the blue rays and stuff like that. Do something like that, you know, challenge yourself. Here's another one, right off the top of my head. Shoot during the day. Don't just shoot at golden hour, shoot at all hours of the day, because you never know what you're going to find. Guarantee you, it'll be cooler than you expect. This could be a total cool B-roll shot of me like walking away into the distance, but it's not that. Obviously, then when you get back to your computer, start editing, try new ways of editing, try new ways of composition, all that stuff. Be creative, expand your creativity and really flex that muscle. I mean, if you're going to the gym all the time, you don't just do the same workouts. I mean, maybe you do, but you know, the key to building, you know, a bigger chest or a bigger bicep is you have to shock the muscle, right? So if your body is used to you doing, you know, curls all the time with a heavy weight, maybe instead you go lighter weight and you do 10 reps of 10, give it to someone else, they do 10 reps, they give it back to you, you do 9 reps, give it back, and by the end, even though you're doing a 30-pound barbell, by then you're barely able to do one curl because your muscles are just shot. So it's all about tricking yourself. It's all about getting inspired. It's all about using the tools that you have to essentially make more art. And listen, I get it, right? I am a gearhead, okay? I love gear. If you're a photographer, chances are you love gear. Okay, even when I was setting up this tripod earlier in the first shot, I was thinking, oh, it'd be really cool to have one of those cool new potato jet, like small rig tripods that like, you know, expand super duper fast. But you know, here's the thing, this is a Peak Design tripod. When this came out, this was all the rage. Everyone wanted this. And it's still a great tripod. I use it literally all the freaking time. So do I need a new tripod? Absolutely not. Do I want a new tripod? Yeah, but there's a difference between want and need, you know? If you can justify it, I mean, go for it. If you have all the money to spend, I mean, I don't see why not. In fact, if there's anyone watching here and they have a lot of money, and they want to send me some gear, that'd be great. I wouldn't object. But you know, you get the point. I haven't skateboarded in like so long. It's kind of weird because I feel like I'm gonna biff it. But also, I love this longboard. It's so much fun. Anyways, my question to you is, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit around, keep consuming content from these little evil devices of all the new gear, all that stuff? Or are you gonna go out and make something with the gear that you already have? I mean, how many times have you seen videos or photos or movies shot on just the randomest pieces of gear, right? Whether it's a cell phone or an FX3 or a C70 or heck, a film camera. You do realize that like a couple decades ago, people weren't necessarily complaining about what camera they were using so long as it shot the film that they were using, right? So, I mean, yeah, you can have a Leica. That's really awesome, but do you need it? That is the question. So, that leaves us to the final question. That's really overexposed, isn't it? Lower that. Are you going to spend all your time? Are you gonna spend all your time researching a bunch of gear that you really honestly probably don't need and then not making things? Or are you gonna use the gear that you already have and make some art? Because I promise you, the world wants to see your art. They don't care what it's shot on, so long as you're actually making things. So, get out there and make things. And while you're at it, close the tab to the new Canon C50, okay? Like, oh, I want it, but I'm gonna close the tab. You wanna help me? You wanna help me? Ready? Command Q.